Hello Linux Kings, so this is Juzo in another video. So today we will be talking about Arch Linux, the distribution. So I have with me my cousin who is an Arch Linux user for like 5 years or even more. So hello Buhamid.
Hello, Taha. Thank you for the invitation.
Yes, thank you for being here, Buhamid. So today we will be talking about Arch Linux differences, and I will be asking my cousin if Arch Linux is really worth it or no. So I will be introducing our setup. So for our setup, so I have RHEL 9, Red Hat 9 Linux distribution. So I'm a heavy user of Red Hat technology, CentOS, Fedora. As you can see, this is my machine, this is the my CLI, and we will be talking more about it. So I will switch now the screen for Buhamid. So Buhamid will show us the Arch Linux distribution.
So as you can see, I'm using KDE with Arch. It's a custom skin that I made, and it's customizable for my favorite usage.
Okay, thank you, Bahmid. So, as you can see, guys, this is a really interesting GUI. So, I will be asking him a lot of questions because Arch Linux, let's say, I want to try it and I want to become a user of it. I've had a lot of great feedbacks, and I will be asking Bahmid some questions about this distribution. So, Bohemid, I'll be my first question is of course how did you get into this? How did you get into Linux? How did you get into Arch Linux? What initially drew you to this distribution?
So funny enough, my journey with Linux actually started with Windows. My experience with Windows,
Yes.
I felt that I didn't really control my PC. When I had a
Yes.
lot of forced updates, when I needed to update the BIOS, I couldn't use the computer for that time. Each time
Yes.
I was playing, I had like 300, 400 pings. Why? After checking, it was some secret update that I was not aware of. Heavy memory usage, something like all of that.
Yes, we
From
know.
that
Yes. Tell me, yeah.
From that experience, I decided to try Linux. My
Yes.
first experience, of course, was like a normal Linux user was with Ubuntu. It was good, it was nice, but it was, of course, it was a lot better than Windows. But it lacked the customization that I was looking for.
Okay,
As
so
you
you started
as you
using
should know,
you
Ubuntu.
started using Ubuntu. Can you tell me in which year? Which year did you start using Ubuntu?
I
So,
think Ubuntu it was like 2018.
okay, so I
Yeah,
guess 6 years, 6 years ago, something like that.
something like that, I guess. Yeah.
Yes, and how was the experience? Let's compare it to Windows. How was the experience?
Of course, compared to Windows, it felt better. As of course, as I'm also a developer. As a developer, it was a better development experience
Okay.
for Linux, as I had better tools and I felt I had more control over my PC
Don't
for
you think
whatever tool I was trying to use.
don't you think that it was quite harder to use? Like the transformation from Windows, the easy GUI, everything is personalized. Like you do double click and the software is installed to the CLI directly.
For That was actually a large problem. For Ubuntu, it was not. For Ubuntu, after installation, I already had the desktop to use, and I double-click each program and install it, and I had the shop that I could use to install programs.
Okay, fair enough. Are we talking about the package manager now? Like the GUI one?
Yeah, what I mean. Yeah, the
Yes.
GUI for the package manager. It made
Okay.
it easier for beginners.
Okay, I remember using that when using the Linux Mint. Yes, I think it was easier, like managing when you are not good with CLI. So yeah, so I think if we conclude this first question, so guys, just a reminder, we will be asking Bohmid 10 questions. So this is the first one. What drew you to this distribution, and what sets it apart for you from others? So to resume, Bohmid, you choose Linux and Arch Linux specifically because of its customization and because Windows, you didn't have control over your PC using Windows. Is that it?
That was my why I chose Linux. And after that comes why I went from Ubuntu to Arch.
Okay, I'll deep dive with this with you later on. It's really interesting to see the deep dive from Ubuntu to Arch Linux. So we need to know why exactly. So yeah, that's actually interesting. So before that, Bohmid, let's play a bit with the CLI to make this more interactive with the guys. So give me just open a terminal for us and give me some of your shortcuts or maybe some of your favorite commands or something like that. Do a neofetch, so show us the distribution and what's going on here.
So, of course, my favorite command, like any Arch user, of course, it is neofetch. I like to tell people that I'm using Arch.
Yes, yes, I see. So you have an AMD Ryzen 2, so you are not using Intel, so it's more power efficient, I guess. So as we can see, you have so this is the OS Arch Linux x86 64. So your computer is HP. The kernel. So what can you tell us about the kernel? There are like versions, or how does it go?
Yes, of course, there are versions and they are shared between all the Linux distributions. Of course, each distribution has its modification for the kernel, but it's what defines a Linux distribution.
Okay, I
It's
see.
what defines Linux as an operating system.
Okay, for the installed packages, can you make it bigger, Buhamid, please? I want to see it
Yeah.
clearly. I think does it change, like if you make it bigger or something like that? If you like, yes, neofetch again, we will have the same resolution. Okay, no problem.
Same dimension.
Yes, I think you can make it bigger if you personalize the console, but I don't want to touch that yet. So you have 1485 packages. Do we consider that a lot of packages, Bahmid?
It is a lot of package. It
Yes.
is a normal number of packages after installing, of course, the desktop, the and all the things that comes with a GUI operating system. Once I installed Arch for the first time, I was able to run it with around 100 packages. It was fully functional.
Okay, okay, I see. So can you just tell me more about the terminal, console, and Pacman? Uh,
So,
yes.
pac- so console is the default terminal that comes with KDE, the desktop that I'm using.
Yes.
Fun fact: what made me one of the things that made me choose Arch is it didn't come with a pre-installed desktop. So I was able to install many desktops, as many as I want.
Okay.
I
Can
think it can
can
be
you
done with
show
other
us
distributions.
what do we mean?
Uh,
Many desktops.
Unfortunately, I can't for the moment since that will disconnect me from the call. I
Okay.
need to restart the session I need to
Oh,
restart the station to do that.
okay, okay, I see, I see. So, other than that, so we have the Plasma 5.27. Can you tell me more about Plasma 2? It's really interesting, I think, for the guys to say to know.
Plasma, as you see, it is DE desktop environment. It is the desktop that I'm using. It's the product of KDE. I call it KDE, but KDE has a lot of products, and Plasma is the desktop of KDE.
Okay, great, great. Okay, so okay, this is interesting, as I said. So I'll be. Do you have problems using the NVIDIA drivers? Because I faced like I used like 10 distributions from Ubuntu to Mint to Fedora CentOS, and I always face problems when updating my GPU. Do you face problems with Arch 2, or is it different or no?
Oh, it's really hard using it with Linux.
And do you know why?
Unfortunately, NVIDIA is not cooperating enough with the Linux community to make it runnable.
Yeah,
It can run on many devices and with many operating systems,
yeah, really,
but it causes a lot of problems. It causes a lot of problems with a lot of users.
yeah, really feels bad about that. Yeah, even for the Linux gamer community, I think they are facing problems using NVIDIA too. So,
But
yes,
what makes AMD GPUs better for Linux is that they are cooperating with the community, making their drivers open sources to help make it available for all the devices that run Linux.
So, yes, thank you for this, Bahmid. So, for my third question, so how do you approach system maintenance, updates, and stuff like that? As we know, in Windows, it's automatic. It's quite problematic, to be honest. But I think in the long run, it's good for, let's say, newbie and people that don't know how to use operating systems, because we know that updates are fundamental for any operating system. So how do you maintain your system? How do you update it? Does it update automatically? Yes, can you tell me more?
Well, it does not update automatically.
Okay.
It updates through using the manager through the CLI. The package manager for Arch is Pacman, and it can you can tell it to update the whole system by using this command. It is system update. I need to make use sudo.
Yes. As we can see now,
It fetches the databases. It fetches the databases and then checks what I have to download. Then tells me then asks me questions about the download and then starts it.
Okay, okay.
I won't be doing it right now.
Yes, yes, of course, of course. Just guys, a quick demo from my part also. So we also maintain, as you can see in Arch Linux, they are using the package manager Pacman. From my side, we have just a second and I will get the screen. So for my Red Hat distribution, I can update using of course sudo yum. The yum is my package manager update. Of course I'll do like this. Okay, I'll just go root and I'll do yum update directly. So he's doing the same operation. As you can see, he's fetching from the database and then he will ask me if he wants to update or not. So it's the same operation, just another distribution. So yeah, I just wanted to highlight on that. I'll get back to the Arch distribution, so I'll cut this. So he'll keep updating. It's not updating, it's fetching from the database, as Buhamid said. So yeah, I'll get back to Buhamid now, guys. So he will show us a little more about it. So now We are back to just a second, guys. So great, we are back to Buhmid. So thank you, Buhmid, for this. So maintaining the system is fundamental, as we said, and you are using Pacman to update the system. So do you find this an advantage or a disadvantage using a personalized update, let's say, or a manual update?
I find it an advantage because I got a lot of updating and what is changing. I can choose when to update, and as I said, the best advantage is I know what is happening on my system while updating.
Okay. So now I will be asking you a more specific question. So fourth question: what do you consider to be the biggest strength and weakness of Arch Linux? So give me the biggest strength, like the most positive thing that you find, or the most advantage, or the best advantage, and give me, let's say, the worst thing about Arch Linux.
I think that the answer for both of those questions is the same word, the same answer for the two questions, which is minimalism. If you are an advanced user, you want your system to use the least amount of resources.
Yes.
And you want to choose exactly which resource you want to use and which not. That's an advantage for those users. But if you want to start a system and find everything ready, you already have a desktop, you have everything that you need for everyday usage. You can't do that with Arch. You need a lot of customization and you need to add a lot of tools manually after the installation. So that's an advantage and a disadvantage at the same time for all of the users.
Okay.
So that depends on who you are and what you are trying to do.
Okay, so for example, for me, I've been using, I've tried like more than 10 Linux distributions, and the most convenient one for work, of course, it was Red Hat, of course, and for my personal use, like my day-to-day tasks and stuff like that, I'm using Linux Mint. So can you tell me why should I, for example, choose Arch Linux over Linux Mint, or it really depends from my use case? Like,
It really depends on your use case, of course.
Okay, do you consider Arch Linux a distribution for day-to-day tasks?
Yes, it can be if you maintain it well and add the tools that you need for day-to-day task. It can be. I'm already using it for my daily tasks.
Okay, great. Okay, so let's deep dive into our fifth question. So a reminder, guys. So we will be asking Buhmid 10 questions. If you have more questions or you want more of this content or another content, just message, just put in the comments, and we are passionate about Linux, and we will make the content for you. So yes, let's get to our fifth question. So have you encountered any challenges or difficulties while using Arch Linux, like especially when working with terminal? Have you encountered problem or challenges like that?
Yes, the first problem was actually with the installation of the system.
Okay.
It doesn't come with an installer out of the box. You need to have a basic knowledge of how the system works, how to format disks, how to make the boot section, and each low-level task concerned with the system.
Okay, okay.
It was hard to do, but as I said, first it gave me a lot of experience and knowledge about how the system works under the hood,
Mm-hmm.
and it gave me the ability to customize my system however I want.
So do you
And
think? Yes, yes. Tell me, tell me.
actually, that knowledge helped me troubleshooting the system afterwards.
Okay,
Each problem that comes, I know exactly where it comes from.
okay. That's a great advantage, actually. It's actually a sysadmin work, guys. By the way. So, do you do you think that a beginner should install Arch Linux, or should he go with something more soft? What do you think?
Not at all. I think first you should start with a beginner-friendly distro like Linux Mint or Ubuntu,
Yes.
something on that category. It's first you need to understand the Linux commands and how the kernel works under the hood, so that you can go to Arch and start actually using it. You need to understand desktop environments and what surrounds the kernel. What are the tools that surround the kernel to show you the image that you see?
I see. Okay, okay. So I might do a video when I will be installing Arch Linux. I might call you. We can do it like a duo. We might install it just for educational purposes. There's no problem in there. So yes, thank you, Wahmid. Let's move on to our question number 6. Don't for someone considering to transition to Arch Linux. So if I want to transition, for example, from Red Hat to Arch Linux, what advice would you offer me?
Nice.
Yes. So let's
I
say
think that
yes. Then
from Red Hat specifically, it
no,
is
not
also
not from
a,
Red Hat specifically. Let's say from I'm your casual Linux user, so I'm using Linux distributions. Let's say Ubuntu, the most used one, I guess. So I use Ubuntu and I want to do the transition. What do you think? What is the advice that you
so,
can give me?
well, the best advice that I can think of is be patient. It never works from the first time.
Okay, okay, I see. So, okay, other than that, do you have any resources that I can?
Yeah,
Yes, yes, tell me. If you have links, just tell me the links and I will put them in while editing the video.
one of the main advantages that I see for the Arch is its community. There is the Arch Wiki, which is
Okay,
a website, a forum for Arch users that have a lot of resources on how to use Arch on a daily basis and how to install it on all the problems that can encounter you while using Arch. Each time and each question I got for Linux in general and for Arch specifically, 90% of the times I find my answer on the Arch wiki.
okay. So I think if I want to install it, for example, and I go to the Arch Wiki community, I can find an easy way to do so. Is that correct?
Yes, you will find all the steps necessary to do it.
Okay, great, great. Okay. So let's say we start with Arch Wiki, some research, some YouTube videos to make it work. Is that what you're suggesting? Hello?
Hello.
Okay. So for our question number 7. So in your opinion, so this is more of a personalized question. what makes Arch Linux community unique? Why is it unique? So I'm pretty sure that I see a lot of Arch community out there who are helpful, who are really trying to make this distribution more known and contributing to this distribution. What makes them unique? What do they do this? Why?
I think that each and every Linux distribution community has. I think they are all good. Of course, to start using Linux, you need to be at some degree and computer enthusiast. You won't think of using Linux on a daily basis if you are not a computer enthusiast.
So I think
What?
passion.
Yeah, passion. They are all passionate.
Okay, I see.
All of the Linux communities and Linux users. But what I think that the Arch community, what advantage the Arch community does have, I think it has a higher degree of experts from normal users. If you go look into questions, you will find, from my experience, I think that I find more detailed answers from the Arch community especially on hard questions.
Okay.
On hard problems that encounters me while using the system.
Okay. Thank you for this. So I'm moving to question number 8. So for question number 8, as I can see, Buhamid, we have a GUI right here. And what I know from installing Arch Linux, when you do operate with the installation, when you succeed with the installation, you get an environment without a GUI, like you get only a terminal, and you're good to go from there. So how did you get from the CLI to installing a GUI? What happened? What did you do? So you can show it the easy way. You don't have to redo the whole process. Just tell me what tools did you use, how did you perform to gain or implement the GUI after having only a CLI. As I can see there, like you have many desktops and you have a lot of custom stuff, like you have the time, you have a whole banner. So yeah, what tools did you use? How did you get to this?
So as you said, once you install Arch, you will only have a CLI. Let's assume that this is the CLI that I started with. Ignore this desktop.
Okay.
Only the CLI.
Okay.
So the first tool that comes with Arch is, of course, the package manager, Pacman.
Okay.
It is what you need to do is first choose what desktop or what window manager you want to start with, of course. For myself, right now I'm using Plasma, as I said before. Let's say that we choose to install Plasma. I forgot what the package name was, but let's say it is called Plasma. You need to do is sudo pacman Plasma. S stands for install. It is a command for Pacman for installing. You need to install Plasma, which is the desktop environment I am using.
Yes.
You need to install SDDM,
Mm-hmm.
a desktop, simple desktop.
So
the device manager, I think.
So
anyways, it is the login screen that you use to. It is the login screen that you use to log in, input your username and password, and to choose on which environment you want to.
Okay.
And from there, to activate them, of course, you need to use systemd.
Yep.
Systemd is what Arch comes pre-installed with.
Yes, and then you put them as a service, if am I right? Like you put them under etc systemd as a service, so that they start when the session start or when the PC boots. Is that how it's performed? Okay.
Yes.
Great. So to like make a conclusion of this, we need to add a couple of packages like Plasma and the drivers, and we need to put them in a service using systemd and launch them by default, and by that you will get your desktop environment. Am I correct?
Yes, that's basically it. You need to
Okay.
start the service. You need to make the services start on computer boot.
Okay, actually that doesn't sound really hard for
Yeah,
a Linux user. Like you just need to be a normal Linux user and it will be fine. So other than that,
yes, of course.
why did you choose Plasma out of them all? So for me, for example, I'm using for my normal use, I'm using XFCE in general because I have what I need, and at the same time, it's not resource hungry. I think Plasma is quite of it takes some more memory than XFCE. It's quite resource hungry. Can we see for example how much does it take in RAM? Like if you can do free minus M or something like that?
Yes, well, it is actually shown here in your pitch. It is using 6 gigabytes of RAM out of 15.
Okay, that is a lot actually. That
That
is
is,
like
yeah, that is considered a lot. But why does it do that? Because I'm choosing, it's not Plasma by default. It is the skin I'm used and the number of desktops that I'm using. What the service that Plasma gives you is called virtual desktops. You can open any number of programs on each desktop, like a normal one. Like right here, I'm having a browser.
okay,
Right here, I'm having the discussion that I'm talking with you in. It's Discord window.
okay. So no, I don't think that the 6 GB is like only for the desktop environment. I think that the page that
Yes,
you're opening and Discord are taking like two gigas at least. So if
yeah,
you
but
close them, we will have something like four giga of Plasma. Is am I correct? Something like that.
yes, but outside of that, I also have something else that I need to show you, which is also called activities. I
Okay.
have here the list of activities that I do. For each activity, I have 6 desktops, 6 virtual desktops.
Oh, okay. So
So virtually,
is this a feature of Plasma
like,
or
I don't know if it exists on other environments. I usually, but it's a feature of Plasma, right?
okay. So
So as
how
you
do you
can see
access
here,
it, by the way? How do you access that? I'll try it on my RHEL 899 maybe. Like what do you put on your keyboard to access the
I
activity?
think the default shortcut that I'm using right now is Super Tab. Super is the key that you use for Super is the key that you use for what is called Windows key on Windows desktops.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll try that. I'll try that later. So yes. Thank you, Bahmid, for this. It was quite insightful to see. So it helps you in your productivity days, if am I correct?
Yes, right. I have an activity for each thing that I need to do. As you can see, I have an activity for freelancing. I have Upwork here.
Okay.
It's an activity that contains 6 desktops for my freelance job. I can open an editor here, and I usually open my CLIs here, for example.
Hmm.
And each activity has its own job. I keep each activity for each job that I do.
Okay, this looks really interesting. So you have a really virtualized and customized, let's say, environment. This is so interesting. So yes. Other than that, I'll have question number 8. Can you get to us the the desktop environment, Abu Hamid? It's quite fancy to see. It really looks like you're not running Arch Linux. Yeah, it's quite fancy to be honest. So let's move to our question number 8. So, how do you handle your troubleshooting and debugging issues? So, if you came across bugs or something like that, what is the approach? What is the first thing that you do?
Uh, the first thing that I do, first I read the error and the log files to see what exactly happened.
Yes.
If
Can you?
it's
Yes, yes. Can you tell me more?
an error that I can handle with my knowledge, of course, I try to fix it
Yes.
by my
Let,
knowledge of the.
let's say that
Generally,
you
it is.
you don't know the issue. So something happened and you don't know why did that happen. What is the first approach that you do?
Well, of course, as I said before, the first approach that I do is search in the wiki for
Okay,
previous other user experience that had the same problem as me.
okay, okay, great. I think the Arch community is really wide, so probably 80%, if not more, of your problems will be found under the wiki. That's what you're telling
Yeah,
me. I didn't go to the wiki before, so I don't know honestly.
yeah, it's quite that number. If it's not more, of course.
Okay, so for our question number 9, um, let's say you are using Arch Linux right now, of course. So how do you strike a balance between installing essential softwares and keeping your system lightweight and efficient? Because of what I'm seeing right now, your system looks pretty, but it's taking a lot of RAM because I'm really comparing with my experience with Linux Mint. So for me, when I open Linux Mint, it only takes like 600 megabytes of my operating system. So I have like 32 left. 31 gigabyte left. So for you, you are using already 6. So how do you make the balance between installing and keeping your system lightweight and efficient? Let's say that's my use case. I want my system to be I want to install the essential softwares and keep at the same time my system lightweight. How should I approach this problem?
Well, for that question, it is not a difference between Arch and Mint. It is a difference between Plasma and XFCE.
So the
Well,
desktop
it is well known that
environment.
yes, the desktop environments. It is well known that XFCE is lightweight. It is known for using the least amount of resources possible to run a system. While KDE is generally made to be customizable and to look pretty, to make a desktop look as fancy as per. You can choose the scheme, but the scheme that I'm using right now is the usage of the RAM and the system resources was not my first consideration when using KDE first, and when choosing this scheme second.
Okay, I see that. That's a really fair
So
point.
if you are a user that you have your first priority is system usage,
Yes.
the first thing that you need to do is system resource usage. The first thing that you need to do is choose a lightweight environment, as we
Hmm.
said, like XFCE. You can
Yes.
even work with CLI without an environment if you choose to. That suits you, of course. So
Yes.
that's a
Yes.
lot less resources.
Of course,
Uh,
yeah, I don't know about that to be honest. For me, I just prefer like in work it's something else. In work you have to work with CLI because when you add a desktop environment, there is vulnerabilities to that package. So in general, they force you a good company. Yeah? Let's say a good company will force you to use CLI. This is an information for you, Bahmid. So good company will force you to use CLI just to avoid the vulnerability that comes with a desktop environment packages. So yeah.
uh,
So what do you think about this, by the way, Mohammed? I don't remember that I told you about this before.
I think actually that's a good approach. Virtually, you can do anything via CLI. Well, actually, in desktop environment, anything you do is a layer for a CLI command. So as I said, virtually you can do
Okay.
anything on Linux using a CLI.
Yes, yes, that's quite a good approach to it. So yeah, thank you, Bahmid, again. So this is my 10th and last question. So, looking back at your journey with Linux, what advice would you give to someone just starting out with the operating system? Any lessons learned or insight you'd like to share with them?
Well, the first thing that I can say is enjoy your journey. Once you go into Linux, you will find out that you find out a lot more things, a lot more knowledge about the computers. You will find that information while dealing with the system. For example, you will see yourself dealing with disk partitioning, whether it's on Arch or any other distribution. You
Yes,
will see you will be dealing with package managers, and file systems and everything related on how operating system works under the hood. It
yes,
A lot of distributions will make it easy for you, but it will not be a hidden knowledge like it is on Windows or
yes.
Mac
Yeah,
OS. It will
agreed,
be something shown in front of you.
agreed, 100% agreed with that. So, yes, so if I make a conclusion, so I'll give this question is actually interesting. So I want to really to add my opinion. So if you're starting your journey with operating systems when it comes to Linux, you need to start it with passion. Like you need to be someone that tries a lot of things, likes to mess with the system, and do it for the passion. And trust me, money will come from it. So it's a really demanded hard skill that gives you a lot of money. You can start your journey, then migrate to DevOps, or become a DevOps engineer, or become a Linux engineer, become a security engineer. It's everything from system engineering comes from Linux. If you master Linux, you can really gain a lot of money from it. Uh, so yeah, do it with passion, and that's it for my conclusion or my opinion to it. So again, these were our 10 questions to an Arch Linux user for like 5 years, I guess now, or 5 or 6 years, I don't know.
Something about that.
Thank you guys for listening to us, for listening to our minimal podcast, let's say. I don't know how the video is long, so thank you also, Buhmid, for your time and for your insights. I know that you're a busy person, so yeah, thank you for your time. It was really good to talk about you about these things.
It was a pleasure.
Yes, thank you again, and see you guys in the next video.